The emergency beacon pierced through the void of space like a dying star's final scream. Ambassador Keffer of the Zelian Collective clutched his translation, Matrix with trembling appendages, as he broadcast a desperate plea across all known frequencies. This is Ambassador Keffer to any civilized species within range. The Scourge has broken through our outer defenses. Zelia Prime falls within 72 standard cycles. We ... We have women and children. Please, if anyone can hear this. The transmission cut to static as another wave of Scourge dreadnoughts darkened Zelia's twin suns. Keffer's crystalline carapace dulled with despair. In 300 cycles of galactic civilization, no species had ever successfully repelled a full Scourge invasion. The insectoid swarm consumed everything: biomass, technology, entire star systems, leaving only sterile rock in their wake. 48 cycles passed in silence. Then, from the darkest region of unexplored space, came a response that chilled every monitoring station in the sector. This is Captain Sarah Chun of the Terran Defense Force vessel Indomitable. We received your distress call, Ambassador. Hang tight, the cavalry's coming. Keffer's translator struggled with the alien concepts. Cavalry? The linguistic subroutines? Couldn't find an adequate comparison in any known language database. But the tone, there was something in that voice that made his natural predator sensors tingle with unease. The first sign of their arrival wasn't visual. It was the sudden, inexplicable silence of the Scourge's bioships. The endless chittering of their hive communications simply stopped, replaced by what could only be described as confusion frequencies. Then they emerged from the darkness. The human fleet didn't announce itself with grand displays of technological superiority or diplomatic overtures. They simply materialized at the edge of the system like vengeful spirits, their ships black, as the void that spawned them. Unlike the elegant, flowing designs of civilized species, these vessels were angular, brutal things covered in what appeared to be weapons emplacements. Unknown vessels, Keffer transmitted, hope and terror warring in his chest. Identify. Yourselves, are you the ... Terrans? Affirmative, Ambassador. Apologies for the delay, had to gather the pack. The pack. Another untranslatable concept that sent shivers through Keffer's exoskeleton. What happened next would be studied in military academies across the galaxy for generations. The humans didn't engage the Scourge in the traditional manner, maintaining distance, trading energy blasts, slowly whittling down enemy numbers. Instead, they dove straight into the heart of the swarm, like predators scenting blood. The lead human vessel, the Indomitable, plowed through a cluster of Scourge bioships, with weapons that seemed to ignore conventional shielding. Where Zelian plasma cannons had barely scratched the enemy's chitinous hulls, human projectile weapons punched through like tissue paper. The sound transmitted through the Scourge's own bioneural network was the wet tearing of organic matter. My God, breathed Dr. Yixtao, Zelia's chief xenobiologist, watching from the monitoring station. They're not just destroying the ships, they're hunting them. It was true. The human vessels moved with a predatory grace that defied their bulky appearance, herding Scourge clusters into kill zones, coordinating attacks with a pack mentality that seemed almost telepathic. When a damaged human frigate found itself surrounded, instead of retreating, it accelerated toward the largest Scourge bioship and detonated its reactor core at point-blank range. Nova 7 is down, came the crackling transmission. Scratch one queenship. The surviving human pilot's voice carried no grief, only savage satisfaction. But it was when the Scourge attempted their traditional boarding action that the true horror began. Keffer watched in fascination and revulsion as the insectoid warriors, each the size of a small shuttle, cut through human hull plating with their molecular claws. The Scourge had evolved to be the perfect killing machines, acid for blood, exoskeletons that could withstand plasma fire, reflexes faster than most species could perceive. They had swept through the galaxy for millennia, unstoppable in close combat. The humans were waiting for them. Breach in Section C7, came Captain Chun's voice, calm as deep water. Marines, you are weapons free. Show them what a Deathworlder looks like when it's angry. What followed defied everything the galaxy knew about warfare. The humans didn't. Flee from the Scourge boarding parties. They welcomed them. In the cramped corridors of their ships, human soldiers met the galaxy's apex predators with weapons that spat metal death and explosives that turned corridors into abattoirs. But more than their weapons, it was their nature that broke the Scourge. These humans fought with a ferocity that bordered on insanity, showing no fear of death, no hesitation in the face of overwhelming odds. When their ammunition ran out, they fought with blades. When their blades broke, they fought with bare hands and teeth. "Impossible," whispered Kepfer as he watched the human soldier wounded, bleeding, surely dying tackle a Scourge warrior 3 times his size and detonate a thermal charge that consumed them both. What kind of species chooses death over defeat? "The kind that evolved on a death world," replied Dr. Yixtal, her voice hushed with awe. "Look at their planet's data gravity twice galactic standard, an atmosphere that would poison most of us, weather systems that could level cities. They didn't just survive that world, they conquered it." The battle raged for 18 hours. When it ended, the Scourge for the first time in recorded history retreated. Not because they lacked numbers or firepower, but because they had encountered something that violated their most basic programming, a species more vicious than themselves. As the human fleet limped away from Zelia Prime, Captain Chun's final transmission echoed across the monitoring stations. "Ambassador Kepfer, your people are safe. The Scourge won't be backward, spreads fast among pack hunters. They know what lives in the dark now." "Captain," Kepfer replied, his voice barely steady, "your species. What do you call yourselves?" A pause. Then, with unmistakable pride, "We're humans, Ambassador. And we're the reason monsters check under their beds." The transmission ended, leaving Zelia Prime in stunned silence. In the weeks that followed, as news of the human intervention spread throughout the galaxy, a new term entered the galactic lexicon: Deathworlder. And in the deepest reaches of space, the Scourge learned to fear the dark.